Hello, Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is time for another Lawn Fawn Fans hop. This is our fall hop sponsored by Cat Scrappiness. Today I am featuring some fun products from the Lawn Fawn fall release and making a Slimline Halloween card with a shaker on it and a shaped purse. So much fun. Here you can see the Fox costumes before and after stamp set that I will be using. And I will also be using this Magic Iris camera die set. Here are all the die cut pieces I cut. I'm actually going to be making 3 cameras that are almost identical, but I'm going to show you how I put together one. And while you're watching me paper piece this, I do want to mention that this is a hop with the Lawn Fawn Fans group. There are 12 of us in the group, and we will be all showcasing Lawn Fawn products just because we love them. And like I said, this hop is sponsored by Cat Scrappiness. She has some amazing products. I've played with them before, some great slimline dies. She also carries products from other companies like Lawn Fawn. So they are sponsoring our hop this time and offering a $25 shopping spree to the Cat Scrappiness shop. All you need to do is comment and subscribe to the blog or the YouTube channels on the hop. And there are 12 of us, like I said, so you can hop along and get lots of inspiration with this new release. Okay, so this camera is about done. It's so much fun to play with this camera and make it all different colors, especially for Halloween. Now this is the brand new Magic Iris camera pull tab add-on, and here are all the pieces I die cut from that, except the one triangle on, or rectangle on the very end, triangle, I don't know. That is a piece that will go behind one of my photo frames. I'm using some StazOn ink to stamp Trick or Treat right onto this piece of plastic that will become the shaker lens, so to speak, of my camera. Once that is dry, I'm going to glue on the piece that's going to show on my camera, and I will then let that dry because it's plastic on paper, and when it is dry I'll be able to put the shaker together. But while I'm waiting, I'm going to add some glue to the back of this spider web and spider from the cute Cobweb die set because it is so cute. But what I want to do is let that glue set up for about a minute, and then when that's dry it's a little bit easier to stick down, and I don't have that glue that just seeps out everywhere. So I'll glue those two down. When I put the web down, I'm lining it up with that paper piercing on that die cut camera. And now that my lens is dry, I'm going to take this fun foam piece that I die cut with the same die, and that's going to give me that reservoir that I need for my shaker elements. And then I'm going to be using some shaker elements from the Craft Supplies by CC on Etsy. This is the Crescent Creations shop, and it is brand new, just opened by my friend Nia, who is also on this hop today, so make sure you check out her card. But she opened this shop that sells these fun embellishments over on Etsy, and I just love this Halloween collection, and so I thought it would be perfect for my card and purse today. Once I have all my elements in there as I want them, I'm going to add a second window sheet to the back and let that dry. Now let me just tell you, it takes forever for plastic for the glue to dry between plastic and foam. So while I was waiting, I stamped a little ghost on there. The ghost is from the Spooky Village stamp set, and I believe I already used a stamp from that set, so I'm using some of the elements from that Spooky Village throughout today's projects. Oh, the Trick or Treat is also from that set. All right, I'm going to set the camera aside and work on the background. For my card, I'm going to be using some PanPastels. I used these in my last video, and I am just loving them right now. So what I did is I took some candy images from a few different Lawn Fawn sets and a little star, clustered them together on one block, and then I'm stamping a frame around this card. No need to do the middle because it's going to be full of stuff and the middle will just be covered up. So I'm going to go over the top of that with my PanPastels, and you can see how the pastel sticks to the stamped image and creates it it creates a, I don't know what I'm saying. It's darker than the pan pastel around it. Words are hard sometimes. Okay, so I'm using two shades, different shades of purple that really go with my shaker elements and with the pattern paper that I chose for my camera, and then a little black along the bottom, and they just look amazing. Amazing for Halloween. But you know, I can't stop there. You know I have to splatter all the things. So I am taking some Cosmic Grape Silk from Fun Stamper's Journey and splattering that all over, as well as some black licorice. And then I had to use my Liquid Stardust from Lawn Fawn to get some fun shimmer on this, you know, kind of Halloween looking sky and background. Now, when I'm using PanPastels, I like to spray it with a fixative spray. So all the pieces that I do PanPastels on, I will spray with that spray in a well-ventilated area called my front porch. Okay, I am now stamping some of those costume critters. There's foxes, of course, but also some little chicks all dressed up. So each of these panels that is the center of the photo from the pull tab add-on, I'm stamping on those and masking all of the images. I already did my masks off screen while I was waiting for that fun foam and plastic piece to dry. I stamped out and cut out my masks. I told you it took a while. Yeah. So here I am doing the second frame. I'm actually making 4 different photos for today's projects. There is enough images in this set to do that and maybe more. So here's the cute little chick dressed up like a donut. Isn't it cute? I will mask that, and then stamped alongside of that, I'm going to put the fox in the cupcake costume. Around my house, we've been talking a lot about what my daughter is going to be for Halloween, and these pictures kind of remind me of our conversations because she really wants to have a costume that will go with our dog. So those other images that I stamped are going to inlay inside their photo frame, but this one's going to glue onto the back. So I'm just tracing where I want to stamp so I can get really close down to the bottom of that frame. And then I will mask off this little plain chick all by itself, but he will get dressed up, don't worry. And then the fox that's not dressed up either, and their costumes are going to be from the same stamp set, and they will be paper pieced on. So before I do that though, I am going to stamp images above them in the clear pigment ink so that they will show up just like the background when I add PanPastels over the top. So each of them is getting a word, which is from the Fox Costumes set, and images which are all, I believe, from the Spooky Village set. It's got a lot of fun little images like this cloud and moon. It's got bats. It's got the ghost. It's a cute set to make a Spooky Village and to pair with your other Lawn Fawn sets. So I will do something different on each of them, and then I'm going to add the black PanPastel to the bottom to look like the ground, to ground these so they don't look like they're just floating in midair. And then I'll use the same purples and blend those together. They kind of make a different color purple in the middle where they blend, and I just love that. So cute. And I was not gonna lie, I was a little bit worried about how the PanPastel would turn out with masking. I had never done that before. So this is a little experiment, and soon you will see what happens when I take off the masks. But I had to splatter these just like the background, and they are so darn cute. These tiny little scenes, little tiny things just make me happy. All right, so on 2 of my photo frames, I'm going to stamp Happy Halloween from that Fox costume set and set those aside. And now I'm peeling off my masks, and I already sprayed these with my fixative spray, and I let that dry for plenty of time before I removed my masks so they wouldn't be wet and tear or not remove, and it worked out perfect. Now the only problem that I noticed, which was very slight and actually kind of worked in my favor, is that I feel like some of the PanPastel might have got on the edge of where the mask meets the edge of the paper, if that makes sense. And so I did have a little bit of pan pastel that smeared onto my stamped image, but I wanted these to look really kind of shaded and shadowy for being in a Halloween night scene. So where that happened, it wasn't that big of a deal. But in hindsight, what I would do is take a little dry brush and maybe see if I could brush some of that off. And also, pan pastel will erase very easily with a white eraser. So here, where I definitely have the smear, I used my white eraser and was able to erase it off of that pumpkin. So there's a couple ways to handle that if that happens to you. But overall, it worked really well, and I was pleased that I was able to spray these with the masks on and then remove them and go ahead and do my Copic coloring. And I have all the caps on the screen, so if you're interested in the exact colors I used, you can check that out. I colored all the foxes exactly the same with the same color combination, so I only showed the coloring of the first fox, but the rest is all on the screen for you to check out. And I think these two are so cute with the donut and the cupcake. Adorable. And I will be using this picture on the inside of my card because I really thought on this Slimline card I could fit 3 of these photos on the outside, but no, sometimes a Slimline card is just not big enough. Here are the costume pieces for my little chick and fox that didn't already have a costume. I'm going to actually fussy cut these. I know, it's very scary, but the images are already stamped on the paper. They don't have a white edge, so if I were to die cut them, I felt like it would just look odd. So I bit the bullet and I fussy cut them out, and I am okay. I just want you to know I'm okay. I survived it. So there they are, all dressed up and so darling. I took my white jelly pen and added some highlights to all the things, and now we can put the card together. So I'm gluing down the camera. If you think that looked like an excessive amount of glue, I cannot agree with you more. I have a brand new bottle of glue and it just wants to play. Yeah, it was going crazy. All right, so I added the giant spider from that same cute cobweb set to finish off this card and glued it onto a 9x8 card base that was scored at 4 inches. Now I'm going to add a sentiment to the inside, and now like I said, I'm in love with this pan pastel situation, so I had to use it for my sentiment. I like that the words look darker and the area around it is lighter, but what I don't like is that I totally stamped it crooked. But it's a handmade card. It's going to be okay. You tell me it's going to be okay because I'm still not sure. All right, that finishes up the card. I think it is so much fun with the little Polaroids, with the shaker lens on the camera, the spider web on there. Oh my word. So like I said, I made 2 other cameras that were almost identical, and these will become the front and the back of my purse. The front has the shaker and the back is going to have this little pocket I created with a 3.5 by 3.5 inch square piece of paper that will hold this Polaroid. Like I said, I was gluing one to the back. I couldn't inlay this one because the nature of how it's going to be removable. So here I am tucking it into that pocket. So first it has to go through the slit and then in through the pocket, and I probably could have backed it with something because you can see my Copic coloring. All right, to put these together, we need a 2 inch by 8.5 inch strip of paper. We're going to score it at 1/2 inch and 1.5 inch on the long side. On the short side, 1 7/8 by 6 5/8. And then we're going to do a little snipping on this so that we can fold it up. I'm just cutting little tiny triangles at each of those intersecting lines, and then I trimmed a little off each end, but I didn't really need to do that. So now I'm going to fold on all the scored lines super fast, and then it creates this kind of box. To put this together, I am using score tape on each of those end flaps and putting that box together. And then I'm going to put score tape on the longer sides. Don't you love that white gel pen on my hand? I always get my white gel pen going by coloring on my hand. And then I'm putting the score tape over the ends again, just because it's not flat because it's got 2 levels of paper, and that will just help it stick better to my camera. So I'm sticking this to the back of one of the cameras, and then I will add my second layer of score tape there, and I will add the second camera. So you just want to kind of go slow and make sure you don't press down until you're ready and that things are actually lined up. And I'll use my crease tool to really press that score tape onto the cardstock. And there is my purse. Isn't it cute? But no purse is complete without a handle. So I found this scrap of ribbon in my ribbon scrap box and thought it would make the perfect handle. So I'm using a glue dot to hold it in place, and then I'm going to staple that down and repeat that on the other side. Now you could like punch a hole and tie a knot, however you wanted to attach your handle. There's my removable photo on the back and the shaker on the front, and you just fill this with some Halloween treats. Now, I thought my card was done, but my spider looked weird. So I got some tiny little gems from Nuvo that are iridescent and added those to the eyes, and that really finished off the look. And those are my 2 projects for the hop. I thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new, feel free to subscribe. I have new videos all the time, and I have listed and linked everything I used for you below, so you can check that out if you are interested, and leave me a comment, because if you do, you'll be entered to win a $25 shopping spree to the Cat Scrappiness store. You can check it out at excuse me, catscrappiness.com. I have linked it for you below, and make sure you hop along and show some love to my friends in the Lawn Fawn Fans group. I hope you're having a fabulous day and happy stamping. Bye!